What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tokusatsu Thursdays. Today, we're reviewing the 2023 Marvel film Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Uh, some people are gonna be like, come on, this is not Tokusatsu. For people who don't know, this podcast is a spiritual successor to a podcast, my favorite Tokusatsu podcast, and once in a while they would review superhero films and like asylum films and whatnot. So, okay, it's in the realm of that, right? That, and I really didn't want to do a Tokusatsu Thursdays episode this week anyway because I'm busy watching Hyper Agent Gridman or Gridman the Hyper Agent, which I thought had only 25 episodes. Turns out it's like almost 40, so it's going to be a while till I finish that show. Yeah, so this movie is directed by James Gunn and stars Chris Pratt, Bradley Cooper, Dave Bautista, Zoe Saldana, Karen Gilligan, Sacha Baron Cohen's daughter, Sean Gunn, lots of people, and Sylvester Stallone has a cameo where he wears an outfit that's very similar to another Guardians of the Galaxy character, Starhawk, I think. I don't know, it looked a little bit like they were going for either Starhawk or the original Star-Lord costume. They're kind of similar, right? Yeah, so this movie, I watched it the other night. I didn't get home till like 12:30. Really hate going to see movies super late, but it is what it is. And I had a hard time finding people to go watch this movie with because apparently this movie got trashed for animal cruelty, even though the animals are CGI. Okay, so it's like there were no real animals, even the rabbits in the movie. And that's not like a joke towards the Rocket Raccoon, who was called a rabbit in like the Avenger movies. No, there was actual rabbit in the movie, and it was CGI. Okay, so there was no actual animals were in the movie, much less hurt. Okay, and I find it kind of dumb to begin with, considering we all know pretty much they hint at in the first couple movies that Rocket Raccoon was a science experiment. So it's we already knew that, right? Which the movie most of the movies, basically half the movie is like an origin story for Rocket Raccoon, while our main characters have to fight and defeat the High Evolutionary, right? Which I don't know the actor's name. Well, I'll put it in the description. Right. And apparently he was in the Peacemaker show that I refused to watch because I watched like 2 minutes of it and I'm like, yeah, this is painfully unfunny. Okay. And people say that this character is supposed to be like a fuck you to Kevin Feige. Which is, if that's true, like, holy shit. Right. So the movie is basically about Rocket Raccoon gets severely injured when Nowhere, which is the celestial head colony that our main characters live at, with Cosmo the space dog, who a lot of people forget was in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. The character was originally a male dog, but they changed it to a girl dog for some reason, who was apparently voiced by Sacha Baron Cohen's hot daughter. I don't know. Apparently I don't know. Which I'm gonna check how old she is. Turns out she's 20 something, so we're good. And I was looking for the cast list, and like, holy crap, Michael Rosenbaum was in the movie. As a Martin X? I don't know. Oh my god, man. Oh my god. That's funny. which Michael Rosenbaum worked with James Gunn on PG porn. Those like sketch videos for what was it, Spike TV or something? They were on YouTube too, right? So yeah, what happens is that like they finally, Adam Warlock finally shows up in these movies. A little late considering, Adam Warlock was in the original comics was destined to fight Thanos, like a certain other character's part of the team, Drax the Destroyer, and wow, he's only born after the Thanos is dead. So I don't mean to rip. I'm not ripping off like young Rippa. I actually like Adam Warlock too, right? And I've reviewed the Jim Starlin Warlock collection, right? And I even reviewed Infinity War. Not Infinity War, Infinity Gauntlet. I still haven't read Infinity War. Maybe someday. And it's like, holy shit, man. It's like, they really ruined Adam Warlock, but they make him a joke, but they did the same thing with the Nova Corps in the first movie, so it's like, it is what it is. You can't, the cinematic universe is different than the comics. We just have to, recognize that. Characters that were considered jokes in the comics are now cool, like likable characters, and the characters that we thought were super cool in the comics, let's make them jokes in the movies. Like Hulk. Oh my god. Right, it is what it is. So yeah, like Adam Warlock grievously wounds Rocket Raccoon, right? And our characters, while trying to treat him, find out that Rocket Raccoon has a fail-safe device inside his body that will not allow him to be healed, right? Through conventional medicine, right? Or the med pack thing that heals pretty much everything. It's like, holy shit, they have that, right? And it's up to our characters to hunt down the high evolutionary who created Rocket, and so they can find out how to heal, find out the passcode that will allow them to heal Rocket Raccoon. So like during the movie, like they'll be, while Rocket Raccoon's in like a coma, basically, we have flashbacks that reveal Rocket Raccoon's backstory, and it's pretty sad. They were like the most depressing scenes in the movie. Right? And when you find out what happens, it's like the movie is like super depressing. I would definitely not, if you're thinking of taking your kids to go see this movie, probably don't. Right? And especially since there is a F-bomb in the movie and a lot of adult humor. Right? And I forgot to mention who's on the team this movie, because the team changes like every movie. So you have Nebula, who has a new nanomachine arm that Rocket created. That's very similar to like the nanomachine armor that Iron Man had in the Infinity War and Endgame movies, right? You have Drax the Destroyer, Mantis. Right, you have Gamora, who the Gamora from the past that was brought back into our timeline from the Endgame movie, right? Obviously Star-Lord, and am I missing something? I'm probably missing somebody, but Groot, who is like super buff in the movie. And short, so it's like, what happened to the tall and lanky Groot from the first movie? He's an adult now, but he's like super buff. That's probably, I think the only explanation I can come up with is like probably because he hanged out a lot with Thor during Infinity War, so that probably influenced him to want to be a buff. or something. I don't know, man. And for all the people who thought, oh, Sean Gunn's character was going to join the team, he's not. Or if he is part of the team, he's like the B list because they keep him on the nowhere to guard it, right? And entire movie, he's trying to like figure out how to use Yondu's arrow, right? And he has like a kind of like like funny moments with Cosmo the dog, right? Who makes fun of him because he can't control the arrow, so he calls her a bad dog, and she's really hung up on being called a bad dog. Right, but he calls her a good dog at the end. Right? Oh my god. So yeah, I'm just gonna go into my likes and dislikes for the movie. I should also mention the movie has some really violent scenes in the movie that makes me wonder how the fuck they got away with it in like it's the movie. It's like there's some very violent fucking scenes, right? Man, it's like how the fuck did like literally they rip a character's face off. And like a couple characters like Adam Warlock also has some brutal kills in the movie, right? He rips like a cyborg pig's head off, right? Which obviously that was obviously a male pig, but for some reason they got Judy Greer to voice it, cause it's like whatever. The character's name was War Pig, right? Yeah. So I was surprised I liked the movie so much. Cause it's like the movie just starts off like okay, like it starts off like the other, like it felt like in the beginning of the movie they were retreading the other two movies, right? But then the movie starts to have its own identity, right? And it's like a lot of high, like the movie, like in a lot of ways, this movie's better than than the sequel. I don't know if it's better than the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Time will tell, but it's definitely better than Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which I like that movie as well, right? Especially since, like, when I heard High Evolutionary was the villain, I'm like, I'm not, too impressed. And I love the way, because High Evolutionary has like, who they make a RoboCop joke because his face is like stretched over, right, his head, right, and like he's shown to be pretty powerful, so he can control gravity, and I just love the simple method they came up with to counter his like his power, right? Which is like, holy fuck, he didn't see that coming, right? Because it's like, it makes sense, right? But it's like, holy fuck, how did nobody fucking think about that? Because you're in space, right? Oh my, I'm not gonna spoil it, but yeah. But yeah, the movie, like, I'll just go. The actions, there's some great action scenes in the movie, especially one action scene in a fucking hallway, right? The music was good, right? I would definitely buy the soundtrack, right? The CGI was actually really impressive, all right? Especially since the CGI in the last couple movies have looked fucking terrible. So how the fuck is this movie CGI so fucking great? Yeah, the movie's just like, movie's great. It's like an 8 out of 10. Like it's like the best Marvel movie since Infinity War, in my opinion. All right, but a lot of people are going to be pissed because like they pretty much, spoiler alerts. I'm going to the spoiler section now. They got rid of the end of the team, pretty much. Like, all your favorite characters, including Nebula. Like, come on, this felt like the first real movie, like first Guardians of the Galaxy movie where Nebula is like officially on the team, right? Where in like the second one, she didn't really join the team till the end of the fucking movie, right? So it's like, what the fuck? Now she's gone. That's great. I really enjoyed Nebula, in this movie, man. So they got rid of her, sucked. They pretty much got rid of everybody. I don't even know who's on the new team because I missed that I missed the post credits because like it was late and I wanted to go home. So it's like as far as from what I hear, it's like Rocket, Groot, Adam Warlock, and some kid, and that's pretty much the new team. It's like, what the fuck? I don't know. I could be wrong on that, right? But it's like, holy fuck. So it's like, wow. That's why I said in my post for like the Black Hole Thin Ice post, I said like, yeah, this movie has a happier ending than fucking Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because everybody pretty much fucking leaves, right? And there is some things. One thing that didn't make sense to me is like, what the fuck happened to what happened to Quill's battle mask that can also double as a space helmet? Because there's a scene in the movie where he almost dies in space, and it's like, yeah, what the fuck happened to your fucking mask thing? He has like a cybernetic implant on his neck? Couldn't he have just? Isn't that the button that he presses to make the mask show up? You probably should have used that when you were fucking dying in space, buddy, because he still has it. He still has that metal thing in his neck in the movie, so it's like, what the fuck? Oh, I forgot to mention that some of the shit in this movie, that, like, it took me a while to realize it, but I think the reason why I love these Guardians of the Galaxy movies is because the movies are very much reminded me of Farscape. Especially the comm devices are just like the fucking comm devices from fucking Farscape. And Farscape had that space comic book feel to it as well, right? So I'm like, holy fuck, this fucking, these movies, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies are basically Farscape. If you haven't seen Farscape, check it out. Which they had, like, they had Ben Browder had a small role in the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So I'm like, oh my god, is James Gunn a fan of Farscape? Holy fuck, right? Because like, yeah, a lot of Farscape feels in this movie, right? So yeah, the review is getting pretty long, but yeah, I love the fucking movie and I highly recommend it. Peace.